Well, as Tshwane has just told us, the multi-party coalition in Tshwane is going to be engaging the executive today. They've issued a statement yesterday where they are expressing their disappointment with the audit findings in terms of that Auditor General's report for the 2021-2022 financial year. And they're now seeking remedial action. The AG flagged some 10 billion rand worth of irregular expenditure in the city. So how will the coalition then tackle this issue going forward? Let's get some answers from Dr. Corne Mulder on behalf of the Multi-Party Coalition. Good afternoon, Dr. Mulder. Welcome to today, and thank you very much for your time. I understand from my colleague, our reporter, Tshwane, you're going to be engaging the executive this evening. What are you going to be discussing?
Well, obviously, thank you for the opportunity. We will be discussing the findings by the Auditor General. We will give the executive the opportunity to brief the coalition oversight group, which consists of the national leaders, provincial leaders and local leaders of the coalition parties involved in this coalition government. So we will first of all give them an opportunity to brief us on the findings of the Auditor General, and then we would like to interact with them to see if they can give us information in terms of how we got to this specific point. We obviously first need to get behind everything and to understand exactly what the facts are. And once we've got some clarity in that regard, we can talk about the way forward and the necessary remedial action. However, one must understand, and I'm a bit surprised when I listened to the colleague from the ANC, they were the ones that steered the city into the absolute situation that we are talking about. The reality is that the audit report that we are talking about now is for the 21-22 financial year. So when the local government election took place and when we took power and we started to govern in approximately January of 2022, almost 6-7 months of this specific financial year has already gone by, and that was under the previous dispensation. So obviously we will have to look into what happened in that part of the financial term. And then obviously we will also look at what happened since then between January and the end of March, basically the last 3 months of the financial term for which we will accept responsibility, obviously.
So the first chunk of this financial year that the Auditor General is reporting about, the financial year 2021-2022, would have started in April 2021, long before the multi-party coalition government was in place post the November 2021 local government elections. So you want to see, you're going to want to see, as you unpack this report, which part would have been under your governance?
Yeah, sure. No, we need to get an understanding of exactly what happened and what transpired. And the city of Tshwane is not just one example. There are many examples where we inherited basically bankrupt municipalities, bankrupt metros from the ANC after their mismanagement for many, many years. And that's why that was such a huge challenge to turn these metros around. So that is a process that we are busy with. And we will get behind exactly what has happened and what has transpired. And if necessary steps need to be taken, if there needs to be consequences, obviously, we will take those steps as well for what happened in that first part of the financial year. You must remember the election was in November. The coalition agreement was only signed in the middle of December, and we basically started governing in January. So we are basically talking about the last 2-3 months of this financial year. But we will absolutely take responsibility for that and see what we can do to get behind what caused all of this.
Will you put the rest of it on the doorstep of the previous local government, led by the ANC in Tshwane?
Well, what I can tell you is that we did not inherit a healthy financial city of Tshwane. We inherited basically a bankrupt city from the ANC and from the administrators that were there being appointed by the provincial government. So that is what we basically inherited. That is a fact. There's no doubt about that. So we will take that into consideration as well. And as I've said, we will look into exactly what transpired. But one must understand that this is still part of a legacy that we inherited. And the coalition remains absolutely committed to clean administration, transparency, excellent service delivery, and those kind of things. We've now seen basically 12 months of this 5-year term. So there are 48 months to go in which we hope to turn around this situation. And we want to work towards a clean audit, obviously, but we need to rectify what happened in the past, and we will take internal steps as well, if need be, in terms of internal processes, etc.
So heads could roll. I understand from my colleague Puleli Tutu-Jones that this acting CFO or the CFO has now left his post.
Yes, it seems, well, we will, that is correct. There were certain steps taken immediately. And it seems that some of the findings could be based on the fact that certain information was not supplied to the Auditor General's office. And the person responsible for giving that evidence and giving that documentation and all the necessary information would be the CFO. So those are part of the things that we will look into. And obviously, you need to get a position where you have people that are competent, that can do the job, and that you can absolutely trust to do the right thing at the right time, so that we can serve the public in the best interest of what is in their interest.
Are you still confident in Randall Williams as the executive mayor?
Yes, I don't think one should point fingers at this stage. I think one should be fair, and that is why we are interacting with the executive from the city of Tshwane tonight as the Coalition Oversight Group, and we will get the necessary information and feedback from the mayor and his team in this regard. And we will deal with that. It's not unexpected sometimes that when you take power from the previous government, that you will have huge challenges. And I think we will see that in 2024 as well. When the opposition coalition governments take charge of the province of Gauteng, we will have exactly the same challenges. We are experiencing the same kind of challenges in some of these other metros and in many other councils as well.
Yeah, so in the spirit of transparency, you used the word a short while ago. Are you then going to tell the residents of Tshwane, after your engagements as the multi-party coalition partners with the council tonight and the days to come, about what actions exactly are you going to be taking to bring Tshwane back to a healthy financial state?
Absolutely. We are committed as a coalition, a multi-party coalition group, and the government. We are absolutely committed to transparency and to put the facts on the table so that the citizens of Tshwane know exactly what has transpired, as well as what remedial steps we intend to take to turn this around. And I can just imagine that would imply some very close cooperation with the Office of the Auditor General to implement some of the recommendations that may come from there, some intervention from the National Treasury to take them into confidence. We are serious. We are committed to clean governance. But we do have to deal with some challenges that we have inherited. And if we need to take some internal steps to rectify certain internal processes, that will be done as well.
Thank you very much, Dr. Corne Mulder, speaking on behalf of the multi-party coalition parties that are going to be engaging the Tshwane executive in terms of what is there to be done after the damning Audit General's report for the financial year 2021-2022, meaning that it began in April of 2021, long before this coalition was in place, long before the local government elections of November 2021, and the financial year ended at the end of March 2022. We'll have to wait and see what's going to come out in case what they're going to do about that reported some 10 billion rand in irregular expenditure plus other financial headaches.